Good morning and welcome to the Trustee Assignment Training. I'm Craig Raber, Chief Deputy for IT for the Georgia Northern Bankruptcy Court. I'll be joined by Vania Allen, Shannon Morris, and Laurie Davis to present this training and provide information on how to practice in the system for yourself. At the end of the training, we'll open up the meeting for you to ask questions about how to use the system. To get started, I'll be walking you through the process for trustees to add 341 in confirmation hearings to the CMECF Next Gen calendar using trustee assignment. In the current version of CMECF, we call the trustee assignment system TAS. However, with the next generation of CMECF, TAS is being retired and replaced with a new judge and trustee assignment system called AJTA, which stands for Automatic Judge Trustee Assignment. You will find the trustee assignment system under the Utilities menu. There are 3 menus to choose from, which I'll go through individually. The first one is the 341 meeting setup. The Trustee 341 meeting availability calendar screen is a new feature accessible by court users, U.S. trustees, and individual trustees. Users can add, edit, and delete a 341 meeting date, time, location, slots, minimum, maximum filing date ranges, and view assigned cases. The trustee assignment calendar uses colors to display the status of the 341 meeting availabilities on the user's interface. There are 6 colors that identify calendar activities. Calendar entries shaded in orange indicate that the 341 meetings have been manually added to the calendar. Manual entries will display on the calendar but are not part of the trustee assignment process. Manually created 341 meetings that do not have a location will display on the calendar with a -- in the location field. Calendar entries shaded in green indicate there are no cases assigned to this trustee 341 availability, and the current date is included with the filing date range. Calendar entries shaded in blue indicate at least 1 case has been assigned to this trustee 341 availability, and the current date is included within the filing date range. Calendar entries shaded in red indicate all slots in this trustee 341 availability are filled by cases. Calendar entries shaded in gray indicate that the trustee is inactive. You'll also see calendar entries shaded in diagonal stripes that indicate AJTA will not assign a case to the slot because the current date is outside of the filing date range. The current day on the calendar is shaded in yellow. The 2 numbers pointed out in the slide allow you to see the availability at a glance. At the top right, the numbers indicate the availability for the whole calendar month. And then individually, if you look at the slots, you'll see at the top left of each slot the availability for those slots. You also have the option to filter by trustee, office, chapter, and location to help you bring down some of the noise that you may see in the calendar with all the slots that are available. The first step to add a slot to your calendar is to click the button Add Trustee 341 Availability, which creates a new 341 meeting. The Add Trustee 341 Availability overlay will display. This is where users can also add a Trustee 341 availability users can also add a trustee 341 availability by just clicking on a day on the calendar. In the overlay, you'll want to select the trustee setup from the drop-down menu, making sure to select the correct trustee for the correct division. After you've selected the trustee, you may now fill in all the additional fields appropriately with the dates and filing date range. If you'd like to set up multiple dates and or multiple time slots at a time, click the plus sign next to the date or the slot section. When you hit save, you'll be able to see the new slot setup on the calendar view. You may go back in and edit or delete an entry as long as a case has not been assigned to that slot. After a case has been assigned to the time slot, you may only adjust the time slot size. Also, you should note calendar entries shaded in orange cannot be edited. Calendar entries shaded in green can be edited. Certain fields on the calendar entries shaded in blue or red can be edited. Users can only increase the maximum number of slots and edit the filing date range field. The maximum number of time slots during a single time frame can be increased up to 99, but can only be decreased to the number of cases currently scheduled on the calendar. One thing to note is cases listed on the overlay will include a hyperlink to the docket report. The next option that we'll be going to is the confirmation hearing setup. The confirmation hearing setup is very similar in appearance to the 341 calendar setup. Click Add Confirmation Hearing to get started. Select the Judge Deck Setup from the drop-down menu and verify data in each field is correct for the new hearing. Please make sure to pick the correct judge and division in the Judge Deck Setup. Similar to the 341 setup, you may not edit most of the fields after a case has been assigned. Additionally, the cases are linked back to the docket report. The last item to display is the Trustee 341 report. This report will show all cases assigned for a specified date range in Trustee. So that's all the screens from the Trustee assignment. There are two additional screens I would like to show you, and they're more of the emails that you may receive explaining why a trustee was not assigned. The first email is one that will report will change slightly from TAS. The first report you may receive will alert you that a case is being skipped because there are no valid creditors. You may receive this one now with TAS, but you'll notice that the wording is slightly different. Also that the from email address is coming from a different location. The second email will come if there are no slots available for that trustee. So I believe that the TAS email that you may get now will say no slots available for the trustee. So this one, like the previous, also will have a different from address, and the verbiage will be slightly different from what you're used to seeing. So that's the end of the first part of the trustee assignment training. I'm now going to hand it off to Laurie Davis to finish up with some additional information. Yes.
Yes. All right. So we're just going to go over a couple things that the trustee and your office is going to need to do to prepare for next gen. The first thing is the trustee is going to need 2 PACER accounts. I know you all knew that you needed 1, but you're going to need 2. So the main PACER trustee account will be for general filing and will be linked to the CMECF account that the trustee uses now as their main filing account. The second PACER account is going to be for linking to the CMECF account for filing notice of deposit of unclaimed funds and depositing the funds via ACH payment. So if you can get those right away, that would be great. So you'll be all set to link on August 9th. The other thing that you all need to do is submit filing agent registrations by the end of this week, Friday, the 23rd. I think most of you have submitted your filing agent registrations already, but just a reminder that each employee who's going to electronically file for the trustee or any of the attorneys in the office will need their own PACER account. So they're going to need to obtain that. Each employee should complete a filing agent registration for filing for the trustee, indicating if it should be linked to the main trustee account or the ACH trustee account or both. Each employee should complete a filing agent registration for filing for attorneys in the office. The registration can include a list of each attorney they will file for, along with the signature of each attorney. The court will link the filing agents to the appropriate CMECF accounts for the trustee and or the attorneys. This can also be done after we're live on NextGen, but you might not be able to immediately file on the 9th if you wait to submit the application at that point. So office attorneys are going to need their own individual PACER account as well. So you'll need to register for that if you don't already have one. There's a link here on how you can check to make sure your account is upgraded if you already have a PACER account. The other thing that you're going to need to do prior to August 9th is make sure that you know your current CMECF login and password for filing documents. So if your login information is stored in software and you don't know it, just contact the ECF help desk and we can assist you with that. Just contact us before August 6th because after that, we're not going to be able to help you retrieve that information. By the end of this week, we're going to email the trustees a copy of these instructions, the CMECF trustee login that they're going to link to their PACER account. So just to make sure that you know which login is going to survive into NextGen. Also the CMECF ACH login that you're going to link to your PACER account. Instructions for linking the PACER account and CMECF account, and instructions for linking and unlinking filing agents and trustee accounts. This is important because if someone leaves your office, you're going to, and they're a filing agent, you're going to need to make sure that you go in and unlink their account from the trustee account or the attorney account. Same as if you get a new employee in your office, you're going to need to be able to link them yourselves. So these two instruction sheets will be very helpful in that. So for filing agent registration submitted to the court prior to this Friday, the CMECF logins will be emailed to you on August 6th. So that way you'll have that information so it can be linked on August 9th. So the final thing is on or after August 9th, in order to immediately begin electronically filing in NextGen, you're going to link your PACER account to the CMECF account. So that's why it's important to know your login and password for your CMECF account. So once those accounts are linked, you can begin electronically filing in our court. So there's more to do before August 9th and just a simple linking process on August 9th, on or after August 9th. So that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions about what I've discussed or anything that Craig, had talked about, we're happy to answer any of your questions at this point.
Hey, Lori, thank you so much for this training. So make sure, this is Janine.
Hi, Janine.
Hi. Do the Chapter 7 trustees know that they need a separate PACER account for the ACH, or do I need to tell them that?
So the 7 trustees do not make ACH payments right now with the court. That's something that our financial department never kind of got off the ground yet, for making electronic payments to the court for unclaimed funds.
Okay,
So they still submit a check to the court for
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
so they don't need 2 PACER accounts. They would just need the one for their trustee account. And then if they're also an attorney, they would have an attorney, a PACER account to link to their attorney CMECF login.
perfect. And then my second question is, I want to just make sure that as far as access to AJTA, that is limited to the United States trustee and Chapter 13 trustees and their staff, and not to panel trustees.
We can limit it or restrict it so that the panel trustees do not have access, but yeah, we can confirm that.
Okay, perfect. I don't want them to have access.
Okay.
So thank you.
And also, I noticed Nancy is called in. Nancy, if you have a question and need to unmute your phone, hit *6. Are there any other questions?
Hi, this is
Can you
Edward
hear-
Saphir from in Whaley's office. I did have a question. Currently with TAS, we have a separate login that we use to log into that. With AJTA, will we have that too, or will it just be through our normal filing or PACER login?
It'll be through the filing login for the trustee.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Craig, this is Nancy. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, sorry. I've had something never happen to me in Zoom. My Zoom would not allow me to use my mouse or change any speakers. It was totally frozen. So I don't know what happened there. I'll have to just go back and watch the whole thing because unfortunately I've missed your great presentation. But Vinny, if you could just let us know where we can access the recording, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll publish it to YouTube and we can share the link out. Sorry, Vinny, I didn't mean to answer for you, but sorry, go ahead, Vinny.
That's fine, what Craig said, but we'll send an email once all that is where it's supposed to be, and we'll include the links in the email.
That'd be great, because I'd like to share that with the staff too, that aren't part of this training.
Happy to do so.
All right, well, Vinny, do you have anything to add before we end the meeting?
I do just have I have one additional comment. So, well, two. First, I just want to thank everybody for joining in. We just want to make sure that our trustees have access to all of the information. So you'll know what tasks have to be completed prior to our migration, so that on August the 9th, we can just hit the ground running. So thank you for taking time out to attend the training. The second thing is, and this is, I guess this is mostly for, well, it could be for all the trustees, but specifically for the Chapter 13 trustees. We are still working with PACER, and we have some correspondence working through internally, because it's possible we may need to submit new PACER exempt fee orders to PACER. And so if that's the case, you will likely receive an email and phone call, or email or phone call from me asking for a list of all persons in your office who should be covered by a PACER exempt fee order. That's because we'll need to include it with the order that we send to PACER. So I guess what I'm saying is more information on that to come, but more likely than not, you'll get a request from me asking for a list of all the folks in your office who would fall under PACER fee exempt. So any filing agents that you have will need their name. Of course, if you're the trustee, we'll need your name. um, any other staff who would fall under that category. We just need a list of their names, but I will certainly provide as much information as I can in the email, but I just want to put you on notice that there's a strong likelihood that I'll be asking for that information very soon. That's all I have. Does anyone else have any additional questions before we log off?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, thanks. Vania, thanks. And just as a reminder, don't forget my chapter 12 as well.
Yes, actually, your chapter 12 is what started the discussion with Pacer about this, so we won't forget.
Okay, thanks.
Not a problem.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. If there's no other questions, we'll end the meeting. If you have questions after the meeting, feel free to email me or call me, or Laurie, Vania, or Shannon. Have a great day, everybody.